Israel, the tiny nation with imperial ambitions, the story of a spoiled warmonger. Before the war with Iran in June 2025, did Israel exist? On the surface of the earth, there is a 424-kilometer-long fissure, a place called Israel. A nation born from lies, raised on the blood of others, and sustained through systematic violence. This is not a people defending themselves, but a sophisticated war machine nurtured by the United States and the West for the past 76 years. Consider these telling figures. 93% of Israel's current territory was stolen since 1948. 5.8 million Palestinians have been displaced from 1948 to 2024. 6,000 Palestinian civilians have been killed by the Israeli military. And 142 United Nations resolutions condemning Israel have been vetoed by the United States. In early October 2023, the world witnessed one of the most horrific crimes of the 21st century. Israel imposed a complete blockade on Gaza, cutting off electricity, water, food and medicine for 2.3 million people. They made no secret of their genocidal intent when Defense Minister Yoav Gallant declared, "We are fighting human animals." In just 8 months, over 35,000 Palestinians were killed, 3 times the number of Holocaust victims in Germany during the same initial period. But this is no exception. It is Israel's modus operandi. From 1947 to 1949, there was systematic ethnic cleansing, erasing 531 Palestinian villages. In 1967, Israel seized 70,000 square kilometers in just 6 days. In 1982, the Sabra and Shatila massacres claimed 3,000 lives. 2008 to 2009 saw Operation Cast Lead with 1,400 dead. And in 2014, Operation Protective Edge resulted in 2,200 children killed. The most terrifying aspect is not the numbers, but honestly the machinery behind the killing. Israel has perfected the art of legalized slaughter through sophisticated propaganda, turning victims into aggressors. They use mass-killing technology, drones, smart bombs, chemical weapons, and well, there are dual legal systems: civil law for Jews, military law for Palestinians. The architects of this system live comfortably in Tel Aviv. While Gazan children starve, Israeli arms companies profit $12 billion annually from weapons exports. Tech startups develop surveillance software sold to dictatorships. An economy built on bloodshed swells like a monster. And behind it all stands the American patron. Without Washington's support, Israel would have collapsed long ago. $3.8 billion in annual military aid, 45 UN Security Council vetoes, covert nuclear weapons supply, full-scale intelligence support. This story begins in 1917 when the British Empire schemed to carve up the Middle East. With the infamous Balfour Declaration, or rather the Declaration of Betrayal, Britain promised Palestine, where 90% of the population was Arab, to Jews for a state. A gift to a people without a homeland for 2,000 years, but a curse for millions of native Palestinians. When the UN officially partitioned Palestine in 1947, the absurdity deepened. 55% of fertile land went to 30% Jewish settlers, while 45% of barren land was left for 70% Arabs. Is this Western-style justice? But Israel didn't wait for the official partition. Immediately after declaring independence on May 14, 1948, Zionist militias stormed Palestinian villages in a systematic ethnic cleansing campaign. Over 700,000 Palestinians were displaced, and hundreds of villages were wiped off the map. Massacres like Deir Yassin, where more than 100 civilians were slaughtered, and Tantura, where hundreds were executed, became indelible horrors. Palestinians call it the Nakba, or catastrophe, while Israel celebrates it as Independence Day. The result? Israel seized 78% of Palestine, far beyond the United Nations' 55%. The 1967 war exposed Israel's expansionist nature. In just 6 days it crushed Arab armies, seizing Egypt's Sinai Peninsula, Gaza, the West Bank, East Jerusalem, and Syria's Golan Heights, quintupling its territory. This was no defensive war but blatant aggression. Though Sinai was later returned, Israel continues its illegal occupation, building hundreds of settlements, colonial outposts of a modern empire. Why does Israel act with such impunity? The answer lies in Washington. Since 1948, the United States has pumped over $260 billion into Israel, turning it into America's second arms factory in the Middle East. Annual $3.8 billion in military aid, plus billions in tech and security, funds the Iron Dome, F-35 stealth jets, and a secret nuclear arsenal, never acknowledged. This backing fuels Israeli arrogance. From 2008 onward, Israel launched 5 major military campaigns in Gaza, killing more than 15,000 Palestinian civilians. The script repeats: bomb schools, hospitals, and refugee camps, then claim, "We only target terrorists." When the United Nations condemns, the United States vetoes. When the International Court of Justice investigates war crimes, the West screams anti-Semitism. The April 2024 attack on Iran's consulate in Damascus, a brazen violation of international law, proved Israel's recklessness. When Iran retaliated with missiles, the United States and the United Kingdom rushed to Israel's defense. The message? Israel may wage war, but its victims must not resist. History shows no empire lasts forever. When global power shifts and America can no longer shield it, Israel will face judgment. But until then, Palestinian blood will keep spilling, children's tears will keep falling, and the cry for justice will echo across the Middle East. One day the wheel of history will turn. Those who sow the wind shall reap the whirlwind. Once again, Israel has stunned the world with its arrogance. Recently, Tel Aviv unilaterally attacked Iran, a sovereign nation, in a blatant violation of international law. This is not the first time Israel has disregarded the sovereignty of other countries, but will this time be different? Will the habitual aggressor finally face the consequences it deserves? Israel's strike on the Iranian consulate in Damascus was not just another airstrike. It was a direct challenge to national sovereignty. Under the Vienna Convention, embassies and consulates are considered the territory of the nation they represent, and attacking them is equivalent to attacking the country itself. This is an act even the United States would think twice before committing. Yet Israel did it, and they did it openly, as if taunting, "Who dares to stop us?" The reason for Tel Aviv's recklessness is clear. They are certain America will protect them. When Iran retaliated with missiles, Washington and London immediately mobilized forces to assist Israel in interception. This reveals a grim reality. Israel has the privilege to provoke, but its victims are not allowed to fight back. The biggest question now is, will Iran and the international community let Israel escape accountability yet again? Iran has vowed retaliation, and if Tehran follows through, the conflict could escalate. Russia and China are closely watching, and if the United States continues its unconditional support, tensions between major powers will rise. Global public opinion is shifting. More people are realizing that Israel is not the victim, but a systematic aggressor. History has proven, no empire lasts forever. When the world order changes, and when America weakens, Israel will no longer be coddled as it is now, and when that day comes, the crimes it has committed will demand answers. Where will the Israel-Iran conflict lead? Will Tel Aviv continue to enjoy unconditional Western protection, or will the world finally wake up and hold Israel accountable? One thing is certain: those who sow the wind shall reap the whirlwind. Thank you for reading. If you found this analysis insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support our channel. Leave a comment below with your thoughts on this issue. Does Israel deserve to face consequences for its actions? We'd love to hear your perspective.